So, Chapter 1. Honey sat on a window ledge looking out at the garden of sunflowers below. The sun glinted off the windows of the high buildings around and warmed Honey's stripy fuzz. Sitting beside Honey were her friends. Hex, the tall, clever honeybee who loved to design and build things. Beanie, the super caring bee who loved to look after the larvae in the hive. And Fred, the flat fly. He was really a housefly, but he lived in a flat, and so he called himself a flat fly. He liked to be precise about stuff. The friends were pleased to be spending time with Honey, who seemed to be the busiest bee in the hive since she became the hive's scout bee. But they weren't prepared for what she was about to do next. "Bee daring!" she shouted as she bounced off the windowsill onto a leaf on the tree below and then somersaulted off the leaf like it was a diving board before landing softly but clumsily on a sunflower below them. "Oomph!" she said. Fred looked down at Honey and then at the others, Hex and Beanie. "Does she do that a lot?" he said. They both nodded. "Yep, come on," Beanie said, and they all flew down to the sunflower. "What did you just do?" Fred said as he fluttered down next to her. Honey mumbled, her face still firmly planted in the brown pollen of the sunflower. Beanie lifted up Honey's head gently. "I was trying to be a squirrel," Honey repeated, clearly this time. "You are lacking the counterbalance of a squirrel tail," Hex said, tilting her head like she was doing sums inside it. "Bees aren't really meant to do tumbles, but we have wings, so you could use those." "Yeah, but squirrels seem to have so much fun," Honey said, standing up on the flower and brushing off her stripes. "We need more fun. We're always working, busy bees." Now, let me just confirm what Honey just said. Bees, indeed, are some of the busiest creatures in nature. In fact, a honeybee can beat her wings over 230 times a second. That's about 200 times faster than you can flap your hands. Go on, try it. I'll wait. See? Okay, so that's a lot of flapping. Now, let's get back to Honey and her friends. So, Hex says, "Talking of fun, we have to get back to the hive soon, right?" Yes," Beanie said. "We don't want to be late for, that thing," Fred said. The thing that is a not very important thing." "Yeah, Miss Ivy said we had to be back for, waggle dance practice," Beanie said brightly. Honey was sure that she saw Fred and Hex sigh with relief. They're up to something, she thought. "Okay, we should head back then. Or we could miss practice and do more squirrel tumbles instead," she said. Hex flitted over to one side of Honey and Beanie to the other. They gently flew her off the sunflower. "I love you, Honey, but I'm not going to get detention from Miss Ivy because you're too late for your own—" "My own what?" Honey said. Waggle dance practice?" Beanie shouted. "And if we're late, we might miss the cake," Fred said. "Oops. I wasn't supposed to mention that, was I? I get a little overexcited when I know that there's cake in the near future." "Okay, Bugs." Honey flew back down to the flower and put all her arms on her hips. "Spill the pollen. What is going